start with a couple of points before I start with the questions. I'm from Archbold, and I don't think this is just a Jessup issue. I appreciate all the talk about the fish, but I have a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old, and that's why I'm here.
Absolutely.
Now, Dan, you might remember me. I joked about the salaries the last time we met, and I did some research since we talked last. I joked around about the majority of it being low-paying jobs. Until tonight, I didn't actually believe that 100%. So you said that the laborers are high school diploma trained entry-level positions. So what I did research on was experienced engineers make about $27 an hour in this industry. Entry level is $10 to $13 an hour. That's not family sustaining jobs, not in my opinion. And of course, you have a big annual salary, and that's for the 3 executives you're going to move in from out of state. Secondly, somebody commented that you already had a union or somebody looking at the project you're working with. By chance, is it the same Tennessee construction union that is building the Montgomery and Towanda power plants, not local unions?
No, we'd be using local.
Completely local?
Yeah, the firm that we hired is a national firm, and they will have a contract with the local union.
Okay, but who's ultimately getting the bid? Is it a local facility?
It's a national firm.
National facility.
Who is it?
We have not signed a contract yet, so I can't announce who it is.
My wife and I have been in touch with Mr. Farina's office and Dave and a few others. And we've also contacted some legal counsel outside the area because we feel it's important not to just get local input from us. We want to get the facts of what they're saying. And one of the points that they brought up and I found interesting was, and I'm going to just round it down to less than 20% of these proposed power plants are actually approved. The rest of them are rejected. So why would we want something like that in our area if nobody else wants it in their area?
Game planning.
So I don't know where you got your statistics, but certainly we develop power plants, and it's a significant process. And like I kind of alluded to earlier, we go out and we might secure sites in many different locations. But there's a long process involved in all cases in development, permitting process, working with gas interconnects, electric interconnects, and so depending on how they're applying that statistics, yeah, you could say that there's a very low percentage of projects that get approved. Over time, as you develop a project, you can see whether it can be successful or not, and there are many factors that influence that, as well as the individual community.
All right,
Just quickly back to your question about the salaries. I don't think there are any salaries in our company at our natural gas power plants that are $10 an hour.
I took them right off careerbuilder.com. It gives the industry standards for entry level and a couple other sites as well. And granted, maybe it's $15, or $17, because these are people coming out of high school that
So
we're
10
looking to hire.
or $13 an hour would be about a $25,000 a year job.
Right.
Ours are typically in the 35 to 40 range for a employee with no experience.
And that's what they're going to start on?
That might be a starting salary. People with experience might have might be 50, 60, 70,000.
Yeah, you're talking over 100,000.
There you go. There it
If
is.
you look at, again, if you look at our
30 to
payroll,
40.
you'll see that people keep saying that there's going to be one or two guys that's going to make all the money. It just doesn't work that way. There are, 3 degreed engineers. There's a plant manager. There's a plant engineer. There's a maintenance manager and an operations manager. Those are the 4 guys who will have degrees. They may be making 90 to 110,000, maybe 120,000, depending on how much experience they have. But then, if you look at that average with benefits, the average across 30 employees is with benefits is well over $100,000 per person.
Including
All right,
benefits.
this is going to go right to Mr. Farina. I've known you for a long time, and your wife's family, you're wonderful. So not to misquote you, I want to read something right off your webpage of your 5-point plan. Preserving our environment and game lands. Expand the use of renewable and clean energy resources like wind turbines to reduce the region's dependency on fossil fuels and limit the effects that current fuel sources emit into our air, water, and land. Second one would be conduct independent studies on the effects of gas drilling to fully expose the effects on our environment. And then the next one, I'm not reading them all, stronger penalties for companies that pollute land and water. So my questions to you are, one, what changed your mind? Number 2,
What changed my mind as far as?
well, this is not wind turbines and renewable energy, this is
And
fossil
if
fuel.
If they were knocking on our door, I'd welcome them as well.
Did you pursue any of that?
They do 60% wind.
Yeah.
They are a wind
They are a
company.
wind company,
It's
And the
slated for
second
wind.
question would be,
and it's zoned for wind.
I guess nobody told you that,
because I don't
though.
want to misquote you.
Zone for
Um,
Yeah, they didn't tell him.
Excuse me a minute, I don't want to misquote. Conduct independent studies. When did you have that done, and can we get a copy of it? Because this is not an independent study. An independent study is not your buddies in Harrisburg, not these guys here, maybe nationally, or maybe they're state, but not related to any of this here. So when did you have that done? And can we get a copy?
I never stated that I would have independent studies done for this project.
But this is part of your 5-point plan. So the first big project that came into the area,
Right.
you didn't follow through on your 5-point plan.
No, there's a process as far as getting there. I didn't follow through on job creation yet either. But I mean, that's just not
Well,
gonna happen.
30 jobs is not job creation. No.
One job is job creation.
Oh, come on.
In your mind, it
I'll
must
hire somebody to cut my grass. There, I created a job.
Good job, Fred.
And handicap league can probably answer this as well. There is no goal. No, I said I can tell you this, and I'm sure Ann can back me up on this as well. Unfortunately, her son just moved to Philly because the opportunities aren't too great here right now. And I mean,
Can't believe you.
Michael worked on an ABC plan, American Made, Buy Local, Create Jobs. He's visited companies in the industrial park. He's visited, he worked on that for me. There is nobody knocking down our doors to come here. I can guarantee you that.
Who are we
Who
pursuing?
are we pursuing?
they would keep people that are here, and bring in other resources. Why just grab the first one that gets along?
This wasn't the first one that came along. We actually, and George worked on this one with us as well. We tried to bring in Sutton, which was the largest manufacturer of emergency vehicles in the world. And guess what, folks? They weren't coming here.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Couldn't give them enough incentives?
There was no tax breaks? Like,
What are
what?
the? They tried the KOZ and everything. It's just, it's not an enticing area to bring people don't want to live here.
So then the power plant's going to entice everybody, right?
I'm not saying that, but it opens the door.
Excuse me, I have an idea. I was a business major, I've been in business for years. I think my name is Lisa Godino, I live in Archibald. Maybe if you had a group of people who were business people that could come up with a marketing plan on how we could market this area and prospect companies to come in.
Right.
We're already working on this.
Right, but
I mean,
see,
right. We're working on it. I'm sure George, could you give a little input here on it, back us up as far as, George, how many times have I knocked on your door?
do you have the people that have been in the business field and have experience with that have
Do you have some
tried
experience in the
this?
field?
Again, I'm George Kelly, Director of Economic Development. I have overall responsibility with the county for the Redevelopment Authority, Industrial Development Authority, Regional Planning Commission. I'm a planning partner with PennDOT. I have an undergrad in liberal arts. I have an MBA in finance investment. I spent 12 years on Wall Street doing product development and marketing. I've grown and built several businesses here in Lackawanna County. So I consider myself a decent background in terms of that. And I have worked for the last 2 years to bring people and jobs here, or at least family-sustaining jobs. And it's a challenge. We compete against Ohio, New York, New Jersey.
What kind of marketing have you done? I haven't seen.
We've done, as a matter of fact, well, I think I might have something here. Innovation starts here in Lackawanna County. That shows the clear demographics of our region. It shows all the different incentives you can get if you come here.
So a pamphlet?
We've gone to at least 7, 8 trade shows where we actually go out there and knock on doors, look for companies, biotech type companies with family sustaining jobs to come in. I'll just leave that for you. Well, it's a tough sell in Lackawanna County. You see our unemployment numbers, they're getting better. They are getting better. Power plant's not going to bring people. What it's going to do is bring industry here, and it's going to bring
No, but it'll just breed more of that kind of industry.
You have the power to approve the power plant or not. But what I've done is, power plants or may come in. We've marketed. We've talked to hydroponic greenhouses, which seem to be very symbiotic.
Oh my God.
That's something other than the greenhouse.
Yeah, the ones up by Cogen with the windows.
I think the cogen plants are a lot, are enough evidence that that doesn't work.
The studies that I have show that all
All right.
of those communities are not.
They're Bill McAndrew.
Remember, they closed the bathroom.
Okay, I think we're done.
Narrative that I've heard on the streets. I've heard that this is the largest one in the state. Is that true, or is there no validity to that?
This would be the second largest natural gas plant in Pennsylvania. And I've heard people say it's the largest in the country, so I had our guys,
Largest in Pennsylvania.
the second largest natural gas fired power plant.
How much is the
It would
first
be in
one?
the country, I think my data said the 32nd largest. So there's something like 31 that would be larger. And that's just looking at natural gas.
Are they combined cycles?
I'd have to go look. I didn't memorize where all of them were.
Thank you, everybody.